I've hiked over 1,600 miles in the last 3 years, and I keep an up-to-date list of all of the gear that I use to go on these hiking trips and create videos for this YouTube channel. This is my annual favorite hiking gear video. I'm going to go through it all, share what changed, and help you build your own kit. My pack is a Hyperlite 2400 Southwest, made in Maine, and it's a beast. I love this thing. I got the black version, I think the large size. I'm 6'2", and it fits me well. I couldn't imagine going on a hike without this thing. It's in almost every hiking video I have, and I've been hiking with it almost from the start. For over 2 years now, this has been on my back. It presses down fine for a day pack and then expands out and has the volume I need for a multiple day hike. I think the most I've ever done was like a week. It's got all the pockets I need. I can reach all of them while it's on my back. I can grab water from the sides. The fanny pack front pockets are just perfect for my phone and little things. I still have no holes, no real damage, just a little bit of wear and tear, dirt here and there, but I love this pack. My tent is still the Nemo Hornet 1 person. I'm a big guy, but it still fits me perfectly, keeps me dry, keeps the wind away. It is lightweight, and I have memorized its setup and teardown. It is so quick. I'm still using the same 20-degree UGQ Bandit down sleeping quilt. No complaints. Keeps me warm. I've kept it clean. There's no holes in it. Still going. I'm still using sleeping liners, even though I change them out every so often because they get dirty or damaged. They help to keep my quilt clean, and it's like a mini sleeping bag inside my sleeping bag because it's much easier to clean and replace the liners than the bigger sleeping bag. The type doesn't matter too much. I use silk. It's a little more expensive, but the lightest weight and feels pretty good compared to the others. I'm still sleeping on a Therm-a-rest NeoAir Xlite, the yellow one. It is a luxury item, and I have noticed that it's a little deflated when I wake up in the morning, so there might be a hole somewhere. It's just a lot of work to try to find it and repair it, so until it's like completely deflating every night, I'm not going to replace it or repair it. Still using this inflatable 4-section pillow. My head fits right in the middle, and it keeps it there all night because of the 4 sections. I switched to this 2-lamp, 1000 lumens USB rechargeable headlamp. It's very similar to the one I had before, but now it's just got 2 bulbs, so it's a little brighter and still works pretty great. I bring a beacon on every hike, the Garmin inReach mini GPS. Fingers crossed, haven't had any incidents yet. Haven't had to make any emergency calls with it. Haven't really used it that much because I use my iPhone for tracking mileage and distance and looking at a map. So let's hopefully keep it that way. I can't remember exactly when I switched to the Katadyn BeFree water bladder. I remember my friend Ryan on the Hong Kong hike showing it to me for the first time and recommending that I switch to it. And I was skeptical, but wow, this is the best change that I've had. I am good with water. This is the best way to carry water, to fill it up in a stream, filter it, and drink it. It's quick, it breaks down, it's lightweight. If you don't have one of these hiking, I highly recommend trying it out. I've got 2 of them, one 1 liter and one 0.6 liter. I only fill up the 1 liter when I'm going somewhere that doesn't have water, if I'm going over a big pass, but typically I'm just filling up the smaller 0.6 liter one, keeping it at my side, and honestly not even keeping that full, like having that half full for most times. If I have enough streams, I'll fill it up as I go, as I need water, because I don't want to be carrying extra water weight. I don't always boil water and cook food on trail, but when I do, I'm using a Jetboil MicroMo at the moment, and its igniter sometimes doesn't work, so I always have a backup little lighter to light a fire in case I need it. Nothing better than a long metal spork. Just get one and you'll probably keep it for the rest of your life. Once you use wilderness wipes, you never go back. I take a couple per day just for cleaning up or going to the bathroom. They're fantastic and luxurious. Not every bear vault is the same, but when I can get away with it, according to the rules, I will use a bear vault medium size. This is small, transparent, and holds all of my food and smelling things for when I'm trekking through bear country. But of course, places like the Adirondacks and some places in California, you need the heavy-duty, larger black bear cans, and I usually just rent those. An umbrella is a new addition to the gear kit, and I am team umbrella. At this point, it's reflective on the top side and black on the bottom, and if I'm hiking in the desert or a lot of sun, I will use this. If it's raining, I will use it, especially when it's raining and I'm walking through a forest where it's just constantly dripping. That's the best time to use it, because if you're exposed, like going over a pass and it's raining, the wind is just going to mess up your umbrella. So this is good for a lot of sun in a desert area or a rainy forest, rainforest type situation. I'm shooting videos when I'm hiking, so I'm usually carrying a tripod, but when I'm not, I love using trekking poles. These Z-Fold tri-section carbon fiber ones are pretty good from Black Diamond. I've broken a couple. You have to be careful, but I will use them when I'm descending, not shooting, or just going through a tough section. And man, they make me so much faster, and it's so much safer and nicer with them. I am still using the original Microspikes all the way back from Marty Hamal. I got cheap ones. I didn't even buy expensive ones, and they're still surviving. The rubber did not break yet. I don't use them all the time, but when it's snowy, icy, they give me extra traction. I just throw them over my shoes, and they get muddy. So one thing that I've done is I've had a little clip that I keep with them. So after I use them and they're disgusting, I don't want to put them in my pack with my stuff because it'll get all dirty. So I attach the hook, the little clip, to the back of my backpack, and I let them kind of just flop around and dry out before I put them inside. So that's a good little tip. I switched my duffel this year to a Patagonia 40-liter black hole. It's like a bright red. It's kind of waterproof-ish. If I was really going through rain or had it like with a porter up a mountain like Kilimanjaro or something, I would still put all my stuff inside a plastic bag. But it's pretty heavy duty. It has a backpack option for going through the airport. For clothing, I am still 100% team Sunhoodie. I've got the same type of light gray sun hoodie with thumb holes. It's great for getting your face and your neck and your arms out of the sun. I don't have to put on sunscreen as much with this thing. If I've got snow reflecting light up, or if I'm in a really sunny area for exposed periods, I will put sunscreen on my nose, my face, my chin, and sometimes just my hands. But the sun hoodie does so much to keep me warm, keep me away from the wind, keep me away from the sun. This is my favorite piece of gear that I own. I haven't changed my shorts either. They're short, black. They've got pockets that zip up so things don't fall out if I am putting stuff in there. My Patagonia Micropuff is still going strong. Bright orange. Hopefully it's easy to spot me on trail if you see me wearing this. There are a couple tiny holes from runaway embers from campfires, but other than that, no need to get repaired. It's still great. I did lose my dark blue shell that I had before. I forget where. It was tragic. So when I went to my Dolomites hike, the Alta Via 2 in Italy, I had to buy a new rain shell right before the hike, and I got this North Face lighter blue shell. It's very similar, and yeah, it works. For pants, I'm still using the same Patagonia light joggers. I have destroyed the butt area just from sliding and sitting. It's a very thin material, so I can't blame it. So I've had to get it repaired like 3 or 4 times at this point. And every time I take it to the tailor, they kind of laugh. I absolutely love People socks, some random brand that I found online. They're wool. They're black. I've got long ones for the winter, short ones for the summer. I'll take the long ones on a hike, and they never give me blisters. I love these things. A new year, a new Brooks Cascadia, this time the 16s, no complaints. If you want to save some money, you could buy the older versions. I'm sure they would be totally fine. I don't exactly know what's changed with the 16s versus the 15s, but I think I started at the 13s now, so let's see how high this number can go. Looking forward to the 17s, dude. And still team trail running shoes versus boots. I want to be quick. I want to be nimble. I don't want anything extra on my ankles. The trail running shoes are where it's at. Super helpful to pair a running cap with the Sunhoodie. Usually have the 2 in junction. The one that I have right now I like because the bottom is black, the top is white, so it reflects light, and I can tighten it down so the wind doesn't blow it off my head. Still using Warby Parker black sunglasses. Still using the same winter hat, the Muji hat, but if it is a cold hike somewhere, summiting a cold mountain somewhere, I'll probably get a warmer hat. So the next section will be all about the video gear that I use to make my silent hiking videos on these trips. But first I want to say this is the 3rd favorite hiking gear video that I've made. And you'll find the other 2, plus over 100 vlogs, tutorials, and guides when you become a member of this YouTube channel. When you leave comments on videos or chat during a stream, you have a badge that shows up. It's very easy to know who members are and how long they've been pledging their support. So visit the YouTube channel on desktop and click the join button to become a member today. Thank you so much to all of the members who are helping me to make more videos and keep them ad-free. I'm currently shooting on a Sony a7S Mark III mirrorless camera. For its size and weight, the quality absolutely crushes, especially when you need every ounce of weight saved when you're hiking out there. This camera is fantastic. I pair that camera with a Sony 20mm f1.8. This is a change that I made from the 16 to 35, and I like having a prime. It's been a good test. 20 is wide enough to get that POV aspect, but having the 1.8 sharpness is pretty nice for inside shots. When I'm outside shooting wide hiking, walking shots, I'm using like higher apertures. So the 1.8 close depth of field, shallow depth of field really shines when I'm inside and doing like isolated product special shots. For some videos this year, I was using a Panasonic Lumix, and I was doing that because they asked me to test it out. But obviously I'm back to Sony. You know what I like. I like the size and weight and the color of this camera, and it's been working out. I'm using the same Rode NTG microphone, a shotgun on top with a nice dead cat, and I made this excellent purchase, this little metal small rig handle for the microphone. It's small, keeps it intact, and it has a shock mount. It's great. I use a Joby 3K on top of some carbon fiber sticks. And this is a small, lightweight option. Because it's not that heavy of a camera, I can use this more photo ball head for the tripod instead of like an actual panning, because all of my shots are just locked down. So a photo setup kind of works for me. But I've tested a lot of tripod sticks. These ones are the perfect height for the weight and the size and the speed of taking them out and putting them back. I'm so fast with this pair because I've done it so many times. Still using a Peak Design cuff strap, but tied around the pack in the front, just hanging. I like to put my camera there and then just hold it like this while I'm hiking, because it keeps it, you know, at the ready if I ever need it. But then I can also rest my other hand and then hold my tripod sticks with the other one. And that's kind of how I hike most of the time. Two 256 gigabyte SD cards inside. More than enough for any hike. I always have more than enough room. It depends on the hike, but I'm packing anywhere from 3 to 6 Sony Z batteries. I usually use one for every 2 days, so they last so long. They're so good. I got this third-party Sony charger for the batteries. You can do 2 at once instead of just the one that comes with the camera. An iPhone 12 Max Pro, a portable battery for charging my phone and headlamp, AirPods for music, podcast, audiobook, occasionally when I'm feeling, you know, tired or just need to pick me up. I'll tell you, some Lord of the Rings at the right moment elevates the experience of any hike. A new addition are 2 dry bags, the 4-liter Sea to Summit View dry bags. I like them. They keep my stuff dry. I put all my electronics in one. I think my drone stuff in the other one. For a drone, I'm currently using the Mavic Air S2. I think they just came out with the 3, but I'm still happy with what I have, especially when I've dropped hundreds of dollars on extra batteries. And I edit all of my videos on this 2020 MacBook Air. This is the M1 edition. And that's about it. You know, there are other items that I use for editing my home office. I also have this PC that I record and stream on. You can find all of this in the gear page. There's a link in the the description of this video with, prices and weights, and of course links to buy it yourself. So make sure to check that out. It has all of the information. And of course, remember that, the gear isn't the most important aspect of having fun and hiking outside, but the right kit is efficient. It helps you go faster, be lighter, and keeps you safe. So of course, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Give this video a like. If you've made it this far, I'm uploading a ton of videos, so make sure to subscribe. I plan on doing Q&A streams after every hike and major video upload on this channel. And of course, members will show up, special in the chat, so hello members. I also have plans to start doing a special stream series where I watch your hiking videos. Thank you so much to everybody uploading their own version of silent hiking videos to YouTube, tagging my name in the titles or the description, sending them to me. I love that. I hope to inspire people to gain confidence to go out and hike and document the trips themselves. And I get a lot of submissions, so I would like to set aside a time to watch these videos and to pick one to share on the community page so other people can share and watch that video as well. I'm excited to make more home vlogs, travel vlogs, tutorials, as well as hosting group trips. My first one in March is Guatemala, Olympic National Park, Switzerland. I want to go back to Italy. I have a group trip for Patagonia at the end of the year, as well as an ambitious Peru hike that I'll be opening up with 4 slots pretty soon. Going back to Iceland. Yeah, there's a lot to do, a lot to see. And I would love to do my first road trip hike with my puppy Sasha. Once she's old enough and can handle some longer distances, I can't wait to take her up to the Adirondacks or New Hampshire to do some smaller hikes in the area. I can't wait to get her in a video, see her hiking. She definitely is a hiking dog. One thing that I would really appreciate is you helping me out by subscribing, or at least just stopping by to say hi on my new gaming YouTube channel. I don't only just hike, I also play video games and love to hang out with friends playing Halo, Age of Empires, Factorio. I'm a huge nerd for factory building games. I also want to play Stardew Valley with Mika, my girlfriend, so follow there. There's a link in the description if you want to check that out. You also might notice a new channel I've made, Craig Adams Clips. I'm clipping everything from the past, but also going forward, pulling a lot of clips from hiking videos and whatever I stream and upload. You might start to notice that. I think it's more of an algorithm-based thing. I don't know if you want to subscribe to it, but you might start to see those pop up on your homepage on YouTube, hopefully. So click on those, give it a like. Hopefully it spreads around more. I have a TikTok. You can follow me on TikTok. I've been back and forth on whether it's fun or good, but it's here to stay. I've just been kind of uploading my Instagram stories. That's something I've been doing for years now. And I think it makes sense to, make vertical short content. I plan on doing more, so check that out. And of course, I still have Instagram. I haven't deleted it yet. Winter Craig hasn't gone full Winter Craig yet. Never go full Winter Craig. So follow me there for Instagram stories, updates, and photos. But thank you so much for watching. Take care.